So watch for the evidence of that. How often are you talking about that and thinking about that? And we're not just talking about what's going on now. We're talking about there's a lot of things that you're keeping tied to yourself about that. You don't think so?
Oh, I do think so, but I managed to just leave that and go, I'll deal with it later. So for a couple of years.
Well, it's later now.
It's later, yeah, exactly. But I've redirected my thoughts on it. It's only in the last 3 or 4 months that I've gone, okay, now's the time, and I'll have a look into this again. I guess, yeah, 2 years ago, I got some legal advice, which would basically said, get legal advice. We don't know. So, yeah, I'm not very clear on, there's fear underlying it, and I'm not really sure what that fear is, but I do feel there's an emotion.
It doesn't matter what the fear is. Fear is a manifestation that indicates a vibrational relationship with true desire. So when you think in opposition to true desire, you feel negative emotions. And when it's a strong negative emotion like fear, it means you're thinking in opposition to something that you really care about, and it means there's a lot of momentum in that vibration. That's why when you say, well, I flew away and I wasn't thinking about it, we're not buying that, because that's not the way that it works. And so here's what we would focus upon. This is an important thing to acknowledge. First of all, you haven't done anything wrong, and you're not doing anything wrong, and we're not giving you a lecture on how you need to be vibrationally different. That is not what this is all about. Because sometimes the very things that you do not want, like being tied up in legal battle with someone that you thought you were finished with, that's not something that you want. But as things like that come to a culmination, what they always do is give you clarity about what you really want. And so that's what we would like to hear from you. What is it that you really want? From where you stand now, what do you want?
I want to untangle myself legally from
yes,
the situation.
But now you're not talking about what you want, you're talking about what you've got. Because you talked about tangle. What do you want?
Not sure. I don't think about it. I mean, on the topic, I'd to move forward with my life.
So when we say, what do you want? And the answer is freedom, but it means freedom from something that I don't want. In other words, every subject's two subjects, and on one end of the stick is what you don't want, and on the other end of the stick is what you do want. Or a better way of saying it, on one end of the stick is what you want, and on the other end is the absence of what you want. So as you have this manifestation, this gift really, that lets you know that you've got a vibration going on that is not serving you. And so then you say, well, I'm really glad to know about this. When we said to you, because we got right to the heart of it, when we said to you that you are presenting yourself in the world today in large part based upon some of that, what was your response to that when we said that?
I wasn't surprised. That makes sense to me.
And so if we say all that you've lived before has culminated in who you are now, and that's such a wonderful thing, how does that feel?
Fantastic.
And so when we say to you that this is coming up to help you to clarify what you want, how does that feel to you?
That feels really good.
And so is there anything, how long have you been in this current relationship?
2 years.
And
2.5 years.
How much conversation about getting married has there been?
There's been some.
And who's the one talking about it, you or the other person?
Both of us.
And what's the reason for wanting it? In other words, you're together, you're having experiences together. You don't really need a piece of paper or somebody else's judgment or approval of it. So what's the reason that you want it?
So much for security. He's got some health issues right now, so there's been some drama very recently, and so some of it's again legal or estate related.
So can you feel how messy that is?
Yeah.
how lack-based that is? And so,
Yeah.
and so isn't it nice that something that you're living activates a vibration that just brings other things like it? And in the process, what is it that you want? Clarity, ease, path of least resistance, smooth flow, nice things unfolding, everybody getting along,
Yeah.
presenting myself as I now am.
That's actually a very big one.
We really, that is the big one. We have enjoyed this conversation for a number of reasons. These are the things that we want you to take away from it. These are the things that we have highlighted the most that we want you to take away from it. You never get anything done, and every relationship is eternal. And when you decide that you're going to leave a relationship, almost without exception, it does not have to be this way, but almost without exception, those leaving, and usually both, justify the leaving by focusing upon the parts they did not like. Mm-hmm. And what that does is keep what you don't like active in your vibration. So then you just keep repeating it in other ways because it's active in your vibration. But in the process of all of this, the really good news is that when things come to a sort of crescendo or head, there is a powerful launching of a rocket of pure desire, and that when you step back from it and you ask yourself, what is it that this wonderful experience, this wonderful catalytic